Sometimes life calls for a real do-over, and that's completely okay. My next guest is an award-winning author and inspirational speaker here to talk wonderful ways to create a new life at any age.
My name's G. Brian Benson, and I am the author of Habits for Success, and you're watching The Chundria Show.
G. Brian Benson, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure
Hi.
to be here. Hey.
I'm so grateful for your time today. Tell me about yourself.
Oh gosh. Well,
You're so multifaceted. Isn't that hard to just,
yeah.
if you meet someone new, what do you say?
In a nutshell, I left my family business 10 years ago into the unknown. I really did not know what I was going to do. I just felt like I was not growing there anymore. And my first book happened as I was working on myself, and I self-published it, and it came out. It didn't sell very well. A couple reasons. I didn't know how to market a book back then. Number two, I was too afraid to speak to others. So I knew that if I wanted to share this message, I needed to branch out and step out of my comfort zone. So I did community college speech classes. I did Toastmasters. I took an acting class with no plans on acting. I hired someone to co-host an internet radio show, et cetera, et cetera. And as I did all these things, I kept kind of feeling alive and empowered and just kind of kept expanding, and opportunities started happening, and I just followed my intuitive hunches.
Wow, good for you.
And, yeah, and so since then I've written some books. I've gotten into acting. Ultimately I love to create positive content in all kinds of different ways, whether it's a book or a short film or a TEDx or you name it.
I love it. You're so inspiring. I mean, your stuff dates back to years of just empowering people around you. So I just love how selfless you are. You dedicate your life to pour into other people. It's a really selfless thing to do.
Well, thank you. I've been learning a lot about myself along the way, too.
Yeah, I know you have a lot to share, right? So tell me about the books you've written. I know this is one of them, Habits for Success, Inspired Ideas to Help You Soar, which I absolutely love this cover. So tell me about this one.
That's my latest book. It came out last November. It was my first publishing deal. Everything up to that point was self-published.
Okay.
And I'm really, really proud of how it turned out. In a lot of ways, it's just kind of a culmination of the last 10 years of my life of almost kind of being in the observer role of my own self-awareness and growth process. And so I just tried to share what worked for me. And I don't really ever try to tell anybody what to do, but just try to lead by example. And I tried to make the book entertaining, inspiring, and thought-provoking all at the same time. So there's a lot of personal stories in there, and just a lot of good ideas. I think just to help people solidify their foundations and to help them learn about themselves.
What do you hope your viewer will walk away after they've read your book with?
Wow.
What takeaways do you hope they have?
A lot. I mean, ultimately, I think we're all here to learn and grow, but I think one of the most difficult things is to learn how to love and accept ourselves. And so if I could have people, some of the takeaways would just be to learn about themselves and learn to see those areas where maybe they're out of balance, or maybe where they need to kind of make a few, changes or tweaks or turns. But it all comes down to just self-acceptance. I think if you can get to that place of loving yourself, everything else falls into place, because you're not out there searching outside of yourself to fill those voids, you know what I mean? And I've had to go through it myself, and I still do at times.
And then you've written these great nuggets for people where they don't have to take such a long time like you did to find
Hopefully
it
not.
out.
Yes,
like,
right.
Oh
my God, yeah.
Like, I'm going to save you some time.
Read the book.
So today we're discussing wonderful ways to create a new life at any age. How have you created a new life, like present day? Like, I know what you've been through, but like, how do you keep your new life up? Like, is that a struggle? Is that a process to keep what you've?
That's a great question. Sometimes it is, because I'm very driven, and I've done a lot the last 10 years, and at times I'll get kind of tired from just like the, whatever you want to call it, So I don't think it's any accident my first book was on a bunch of ways on how to stay in life balance, because that taught me how to pay attention to where I fell out of balance and what I needed to do to stay in balance. So I implement those into my own life. So I feel like I do a pretty good job of that. But, I'd love to do so many different things, and so I'm dabbling in a lot of stuff. I've got a small part in a TV show coming up, which I'm really excited about, but then I'm also trying to balance marketing that and putting out other little videos and spoken word pieces that I like to do and stuff. So sometimes it feels a little heavy, but other times I love to create.
But I love that you continue to do what you're drawn to, what you love to do, what you're most passionate about. And while it may seem like heavy sometimes, because, you know, our emotions kind of get the best of us, like maybe you're tired, you know, or what have you, but it doesn't mean like you never want to give up. And that's a key thing. Like I may be tired, I may be, you know, burnt out, but I'm never going to stop doing the things that I'm doing. So I just love that you keep going no matter what. That's a story in itself.
I'm in this for the long haul. You know, I think some of the areas where I probably get tripped up occasionally just is the marketing and social media and stuff. Sometimes that just feels a little
mundane,
and maybe even sometimes a little unauthentic, and that, you know, but it's the world we live in now.
So in your opinion, what's one of the initial steps to reinvent our lives, no matter what age we are or what we've been through? Like you had a story, but we all have stories. So like what are some first steps to just
get honest with yourself? Get really honest with yourself. Try to figure out why you're feeling bummed out or you feel like you're not growing. You know what I mean? Try to identify those areas where you're not feeling complete. And then self-awareness is key. You know, once you can start to kind of hone in on why, then you can begin to implement the changes.
Okay. So get honest with yourself. Those are first steps. And then ultimately, what's the strategy to trade in this old life for the new life? Like, what's that switch up? Like, I know where I am today, but I have my sights set on something else.
Exactly what it was, I would bottle it and make
that secret sauce
and millions of dollars.
But what was your secret sauce? I mean, you were honest with yourself. You saw like greener pastures. How did you make that trade-off to being an award-winning author, actor, and 4-time Ironman triathlete? Like, it was just
many lifetimes.
Any day.
I think you just got to keep moving forward and trust the process, and know that some days it's not going to be 2 steps. It might just be a little tiny baby step, but just keep moving forward and believing that you'll get where you want to head. And for me, I mean, I really didn't know where it was all heading. When I was 3, I told my mom I was put her to inspire people, and she reminded me after my first book came out.
Wow.
Some weird way, maybe subconsciously, I feel like I've known what I'm supposed to do. But, you know, we as humans like to try to control things. And so if you can get away from some of that and just trust your process and just work on yourself, you'll be shown the way. The key is just work on yourself. I mean, that's really all I've done, and I was working on myself, and all these things started kind of happening.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, the mind can play tricks on us at times, and fear alone can wreak worse havoc. How do we prevent fear from being a roadblock in our new lives?
It's going to creep up sometimes. It still does for me.
So I guess that would be an initial step. Expect it. Like sometimes you're going to be fearful.
Bit, yeah. Anytime you can kind of, though, try to shine some light on that fear, I think that can maybe sometimes minimize it. I know that's not exactly, you know, just keep moving forward. Keep taking, a lot of times I just kind of jumped and trusted that I would land, and I did most every time, you know. And so you're going to be okay. If there's something you feel really strongly about and you want to head in that direction, even though you haven't done it before, just head in that direction.
Go.
Just try it. And just keep your expectations at bay and just let it be what it's supposed to be.
Just live in the moment. Continue to move.
Yes, because expectations have gotten the best of me more than once.
Okay. Because
since I kind of feel like I know where things are supposed to be heading, every time I would release something, I would kind of maybe, my expectations would be a little bit too high. Say, is this the thing that's going to spring me? Instead of just really honoring the creative process and just trusting that it would reach who it was supposed to reach.
So what was it, the disappointment that baffled you?
Yeah, okay. I felt disappointed for a little while, absolutely.
Okay. A new life can encompass so much. Your career, education, marriage, family experiences, travel, exercise, hobbies, and of course, financial growth. Until we see those changes, there could be a blow to our confidence. But Rome wasn't built in a day. How do we style our new life gracefully in time? Can't get there today, but you'll get there. 10 years ago, you were working in your family's business.
Yeah.
You hadn't written any books. You hadn't acted on any shows. You hadn't done any podcasts. You hadn't done any TED Talks. You hadn't done any of this stuff. But you gracefully styled your life in such a way.
Each step I took made me feel alive and empowered because it was something I hadn't done before. And so that kind of gave me the energy to keep testing my boundaries.
Okay.
And so, you know, try also really try to be aware of why you're wanting to do something. Sometimes the reasons aren't probably good enough, if that makes sense. I mean,
your why?
Sometimes somebody's why might be just because they're trying to fill that void. Does that make sense? And so try to get really honest with your whys, and then just keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. I love that advice. What other tools and resources can we utilize to create innovative new ways to change our lives to garner effective results? Besides buying all of your books.
Well, yeah, okay, thank you for saving me from having to say that. Find life balance, really try to establish life balance, because if you can find that balance, it does so much for us. Most importantly, I think when you can kind of get into that place of just getting quiet at times, it allows your intuition to come through stronger. Because, a lot of times you're just zipping through life, and especially in a big city like here, you got music pouring in all the time, and you're just not really able to just quiet down and hear what's coming through. I think that's a big disadvantage. And I'm not necessarily religious, or I'm spiritual, but I mean, I really feel like intuition is almost like our guiding path to bring fulfillment to ourselves for our own version of success.
So if we stop long enough, get quiet long enough,
get quiet, go for walks. I hike almost every day. It helps keep me grounded here. Otherwise, I'd kind of struggle a little bit.
Something about the open air,
yeah,
solitude.
Nature's perfection. I get all kinds of ideas, and it just quiets me down.
Awesome. That's a good tip. Well, I thank you for being my special guest today. How can we continue to follow your journey?
My website's gbrianbenson.com. The Habits book is on habitsforsuccessbook.com. And I'm on social media at gbrianbenson.
Gbrianbenson.
Yeah.
Hold on tight. Another great interview on The Chundria Show is coming right up. But first, please like The Chundria Show fan page on Facebook and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter using the handle @ChundriaTV. Would you like to be a guest on The Chundria Show? Are you an expert in health and wellness or love and relationships? Do you have an important inspirational message to share with the world? Well, feel free to visit the official website at www.chundriashow.com. There, you can watch video clips and learn more about the show and submit yourself to be a guest. And of course, you can keep watching The Chundria Show right here on this channel. Now, let's get back to another interview with another amazing Chundria Show guest. Thanks for tuning in. The personal or professional, most of us have had lofty goals at some time in our lives, so it's not uncommon to feel like some of them just may be out of reach. Today, my special guest speakers talk to us about living the dream wide awake.
I'm Tiffany Beasley.
And I am Eva Sparks-Metoyer. And you are watching the
Chundria Show.
And we are
the Business Besties.
It's the Business Besties. Tiffany and Eva, welcome to the show. I appreciate you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now, neither of you are strangers to the Chundria Show. You all were featured on my podcast earlier this year, so thank you for that. But please introduce yourself and tell me what you do.
Go first, love.
I'm Eva Sparks-Metoyer. I have a 9-to-5 at a business management firm, but outside of that, I am a serial entrepreneur. I just wrote a book that is on Amazon, 10 Keys to a Successful Argument. I co-host a very successful podcast called Talk Old Tuesday that streams on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and Podbean every Tuesday. And we also go on Instagram Live at 7 p.m. sharp every Tuesday. And I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I am Tiffany Beasley's business bestie.
Yes. And I am Tiffany Beasley. I am the dream pusher of LA. I am inspiring people to live their dreams wide awake through dreams, merchandise. I have t-shirts that say, are you here to help with my dreams?
Exactly.
And it's not about my dreams, it's about your dreams, because you have to find the people who are here to help you. Because if you can do it alone, it's not a dream, it's more of a goal. So you find those people, and then you get that inspiration popping, and then you get me in your life, and you're just being pushed to do what it is that you've been called to do.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, as powerful women, you both make it your life's work to empower others. What does the phrase living the dream wide awake mean to you? You chose this topic today, so what does that mean to you?
It's perfect because you get the opportunity to literally do what you've been called to do, and you're doing it wide awake. We often speak of dreams as being what we do at night, and oh, I had a dream last night, and sometimes we can't even remember what it is. But you're living your dreams wide awake, and you have your talk show, you have your podcast, you have other things that are happening, and you can literally do it right in front of the scene in living color, wide awake, and that's how it goes.
What does it mean to you, Eva?
Well, pretty much to piggyback off of what Tiffany said, you know, just be aware, like walking in your purpose is not non-intentional. It's very intentional. Like everything you're doing is you're intending to do it that way. You're wide awake. You know exactly where you're going, exactly what you're doing, and you're pursuing a little bit off every day. You're chipping at it every single day till you achieve it.
Yay, love that. Life truly gets hard sometimes, we know that. How do you both encourage people to continue to follow their dreams when they feel like the support and accountability is limited?
I think it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad moment. It's okay to feel bad. I think sometimes we look at feeling bad as something you're not supposed to do. We're humans, you know, and humans have bad days and they have good days. I think the key to a bad day is letting go of it.
Oh, okay.
Like don't sit there and fester in it. You know, when you have a bad moment, that's exactly what it is. It's a moment. So don't turn it into 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 days, 2 weeks, a month, and so on. Let that moment go. You know, you nothing's wrong with feeling bad. That's human, but let it go. Don't hold it. Don't fester it. Let it go.
That's true, because it's like, did you have a bad moment and that you milked all day? Or was it just a moment?
Exactly.
Like that. I typically tell people to think about storms, and it's not your responsibility to stop the storm. It's your responsibility to make sure that the storm doesn't stop you.
Oh, I like that.
So you just stay in that realm and know that, like, all storms pass. They don't last always. They don't last for weeks. They last for moments, and that's it. We have them.
And what about naysayers? Speak to that.
That's a powerful thing. Like, we need them, because sometimes that fuels me. It gives me energy.
Exactly.
Like, because you said I can't do it, that doesn't mean that I can't. And I believe, too, in another quote that says that those who say it can't be done should get out of the way of those doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
You both are really emotionally strong, though. So for someone who may not be as emotionally strong as you, you know, that may take that to heart. If somebody says, you can't do that, that's going to be too hard. Why would you do that anyway? You know.
I would say change your circle.
Oh.
I would definitely say change your circle. You know, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need a new circle anyway. You know, if you're the only ambitious person in your circle, you need a new circle anyway. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Definitely change your circle. Change your surroundings. You know, and you can fall back slowly. I'm not saying just stop speaking to them. It may be somebody you've known for 20 or 30 years. You love them. But change your circle and know when to speak and when to share your ideas with somebody. You know, something I say, and it's also in my book, you know, a turtle and a giraffe have two different perspectives. So you can't always think somebody you've known for 30 years is going to support your dream because they just maybe don't see it like you. That's why it's your dream, it's your vision. So you have to surround yourself with people who would help you.
And it's not your responsibility to make them see it the way you do.
No, not at all.
Okay. For the person who wants to start a business, change careers, travel the world, start a family, buy a house, what are some of the initial steps to take when specific desires enter your mind and heart? When you first get that, like it's activated in your mind. I want that house, I want that dog, I want that car, I want that man, woman, whatever. I want that business. You know, what are...
I believe you can have it all. You just can't have it all at one time. So I look at it like that. Like baby steps. Which one do you want first?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of vision boards.
Okay.
So
those are some initial steps.
So I would definitely say something Tiffany always says is put pen to paper. You know, I'm a big fan of vision boards. I believe in vision boards. And I think seeing it every single day, you know, not just thinking it, but seeing it on the board. That's why vision boards should go somewhere where they're visible to you. On the back of your front door right before you leave the house.
Oh, I like that. I thought about putting it right there.
Or on your ceiling, you know, right when you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you see. And I think that is what manifests. It will manifest in your life, but you have to see it. You have to visualize it. You have to believe that it's coming.
Tell me something you manifested that you wrote on a vision board that has manifested in your life.
My book.
Yes.
my book. It was so many times I was just like, oh, I don't have time. You know, something to come up. I have 2 kids. I'm married. You know, life happens. You know, and I looked at it every day, and I was like, I'm gonna write the book. Like I'm BSing. I need to just sit at the computer and write the book.
Like that reminder.
I did, and I saw it every single day, and I chipped at it every single weekend. Like I didn't just write it as it's an ebook. It's only 5 pages. It's not a big book, but it was a process. You know, I had to narrow it down. Had to go through edits and things like that. Change it up here, change it up there. So I did chip at it, but I chipped at it every single weekend. Every single weekend.
Yeah. And you made it happen.
I put it up on Amazon in May.
That's what happened to mine.
I got my copy.
When I wrote down that I wanted to move to LA to work for Sean John, and I did, and I was like, it gotta happen here, and I saw it, and I literally saw me in LA working for Diddy, and then I literally moved here with $100 and was like, I'm gonna make this happen, and it did. So
$100.
I moved to LA with $100.
What'd you do with $100?
It went so quick, but it's 17 years ago I moved to LA. This is October. That's my anniversary.
With $100.
With $100. And I've never slept on the streets or in a car. So I know, like, God will see you through vision boards. Like, you remain focused.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that you see. You don't even see the outskirts. In my mind, I was like, the $100 going to get me to another $100. So get me to another $100.
I envision another $100.
Yes, right. And I mean, it seems so far-fetched, but it's just, if you stay in your own lane and in that realm, you can just literally manifest anything that you can think of.
Live your dreams wide awake.
Live them.
Tell me about a time, I just asked you this, Eva, but tell me about a time you both had to live your dream wide awake. Furthermore, what lofty goals have you had specifically?
Okay.
Besides working for Diddy
Yeah.
and Sean John, have you manifested anything else in your life?
Yes, I have. Well, this year, I was laid off in January, and then I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, well.
In February?
Yeah, right. So it's like, well, who wants to really work and go in on a new career and do all of that and become a new mom? And I was just like, I don't. But I kept telling myself, I'm skilled, I'm talented, I'm gifted. Mm-hmm. So I do have my recycle line where I make jewelry out of things that are recyclable or things that you no longer want. You know, the denim that's just an ill fit for you, I can turn it into a pair of earrings or a necklace and any of that. And a t-shirt that no longer, you know, it's holy, it's dingy, I can turn that into something else too. And then I have my motivational speaking, and I can, you know, literally teach you that you can manifest anything. And I'm here to inspire you. So that's what I've been working on all year. Because I was like, it doesn't make sense to go to a 9-to-5. Mm-hmm. And my part of our business is that you live your dreams wide awake. And Eva's is that you can have the 9-to-5 and the dream that thrives. So I'm really walking into the whole light of our schooling, and I'm practicing what I preach.
Exactly.
Awesome. I love this. So when did the Business Besties incorporate?
When did we make it official? We've been official for almost a year.
Okay.
I would
yes,
say
I would
about
think
a year.
so.
We met at another event. You know, we met through someone. Like Tiffany was there and I was there, and we kind of just met. You know, hi. It was nothing crazy. I was bartending an event actually, and Tiffany was there, and Tiffany doesn't drink. So I walked over because the person was speaking. So I walked over and I'm like, "What would you like to drink?" You know, and I give my options. She goes, "Nothing." You know, it's hot in here. You know, she's talking. I walk back. "You sure you don't want nothing to drink?" "I don't drink." That's what she said. I said, "Oh, okay." So then I come back, I have a cup, I have ice, I have water, you know. I'm like, well, here's some water, you know, because it's hot in here.
It's like you felt something.
And I'm like, you need something to drink. So, and then after the event was over, she walked up to me and told me she was very thankful that I had brought her water, because she was like, I'm not from LA, and when you tell people in LA you don't drink, you guys just write us off, you know, because we don't drink. And she was like, I really appreciate the fact you brought me the water. I was like, oh, well, it was hot. You needed something to drink. We exchanged numbers, and we clicked immediately. Yes. Like, she had a photo shoot coming up with her shirts, and she asked me to be a part of it. We got to really know each other at the photo shoot, and it came to business. We clicked. Like, anytime we talked, we asked each other, you know, what's going on with your t-shirt business? She would ask me what was going on with my business, because at the time I was an event planner. And we would just talk, and then she would give me ideas. I was hoping I was giving her ideas, and it just blended where all we talked about was business. Like, and we pushed each other. Like, next time we talk, let me know how that's going. Next time we talk, let me know how that's going.
You know what I love about that is that you all spend so much time helping people outside. I know you were managing, you know, Tree of Life at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys help people outside reach their greatest potential, and then you meet each other, and then you have each other. Like, you become each other's, like what you've given to the world, you find somebody to give that to each of you. And I just think that is so beautiful. So keep up the amazing work. I wish you nothing but continued success in your own brands, businesses, and whatever amazing ideas you get. Podcast, everything. Like, this new baby, like the baby's gonna watch this episode in a couple of months.
Yes.
Check out this quick podcast clip from mental wellness coach Lakeisha Russell on powerful tips to overcome bad moods. There's a bad mood, then there's depression, and many people and their loved ones aren't in tune with their emotional stability. So in what ways can we all encourage other people to seek professional help just to sort through life changes and trauma?
Yeah, I think it first starts off, Chundria, with individuals having those conversations, right? And so just those conversations of, hey, how are you feeling today? Like, literally, how are you feeling?
How are you really feeling? Like, yeah.
Exactly. And then when somebody shares how they really feeling, are you going to be able to handle that too? And so just having those candid conversations, open, safe environments for them to share how they feel, letting them know it's nothing wrong with them, they aren't crazy, right? So coming away from those stigma words that we often use. And, you know, I've been a victim of it, like, oh, stop acting crazy, you know, but it's like, you know, not knowing like how those things can actually hurt people and make them more sheltered and withdrawn. But then too, you know, it could be as simple as, you know, maybe you need to seek somebody who can like help you get unstuck. And it's as simple as, hey, do you want me to make that call for you? Because I've had, and it's so amazing, I've had friends call for another friend.
I like that. Action step.